Hello and welcome back. In this session, we're going to learn, how to read from a file. Okay, let's start a file. I mean the programming file .scala file. We'll come out and create some text file later. But now let's just get started with our. I'm just going to call it read file .scala. Okay. Okay. Again, I'm going to just type it. And I'll be relatively quiet because we have been seeing full programs by now, many of them. So I think I'll just speak whenever explanation is required. Okay, first line probably needs explanation because we're going to get some of the library from Java. Okay, Java IO. We're going to get this, IO exception, and we're going to get file not found exception. Okay, just making use of pre-existing library, and then we're going to import some stuff from Scala IO that is source. We'll see what source does fairly quickly. Okay, next one. Okay, our object definition. All right. Okay, our main method. Main args array of string and return. We don't have anything specific returns, that's why unit, and close up my body of the main method. Okay, well, file name. All right. Okay, so I need to give a file name here. I'm just going to give some users something. We'll figure this out later. Okay, just do this one for now. This is not a not an existing file. Input file.txt. We're going to create that. We'll find the correct path, correct file path, and then we'll come here and then we'll do that. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. Next one. Okay, source. All right, so Scala IO. IO buffer source. All right, we'll make use of this buffer source in a while. Let's just create a structure. So now we are going to make use of try catch as well. Okay, and then finally, this is a very good place to use try catch. Okay, already try. So what are we going to try? We're going to try something that is likely to throw error. I mean, that's not the goal, but that's the reality. Okay, so our goal is to read something from a file, but while doing that, file may not exist or something happen. In like 25-30 years ago, in the computer that we had at that time, a lot of time when you read something from storage media like floppy disks. We used to have a floppy disk. Now it's almost like a history. Even from a hard disk, sometimes we used to get errors, but these days hard disks are very reliable. Okay, and then we don't see floppy disks anymore around, right? Maybe probably only in museum now. So that was the time when I was in high school actually, and also it was there when I was in college in late 90s. But now anyway, so let's just start our let's get this stuff from the source. So now we're making use of the source. Okay, you see source here. So there is this thing called from file method. Okay, and I supply file name like this, and now I can actually iterate on this source. Isn't that nice? It's like line. It had a bunch of lines. It reads the file and it skips. Okay, and then I can iterate through it pretty much as if like it's a list of lines. Source dot get lines. pretty interesting. Isn't that pretty cool? Okay, now print. I want to actually print it so that I know that it actually read it correctly. So what can go wrong? First, that file may not exist. Yeah, that's why we imported file not found exception. File not found exception. Okay, and then when that occurs, we'll just print some message here. In professional like projects, we probably would be logging into a log file for analysis. But yeah, I think that should be good enough. They're equivalent actually. So another, it be just IO exception because we're doing IO operation. IO exception. So that's it. Okay, and we will print some message there as well. We'll just IO problem. Right? That is correct, but okay. And if we get anything else other than these two, which we don't know whether we'll be getting, but just for safety, we just have the broader exception, okay? And that broader exception, we'll just say something went wrong. Okay, that's it. And finally, okay, yes, that's pretty, we close the source, you know. Where is our source? Right here. Okay, close. So when you create a source, it's stored in the memory. The memory is available, right? So it occupies the memory. So that's something that's important. Okay, by the time you open, if it's a large file, let's say billions of lines, then you know you could very quickly go out of memory, right? So when you're done, be sure to close that source, right? So in that way, you know, it's a more graceful way of you know, releasing resources. The compiler knows, operating system knows. But when you close the program, probably you know your interpreter or operating system might forcefully close that if it finds it's not being used. But it's always a good idea actually to have in your program so it looks systematic, and both from readability and also from you know system operation point of view. When it actually executes, it does things gracefully and you don't encounter any problem. In a smaller programs, you might encounter problem. Even if you encounter problem, it's very easy to recover from them. But if it's a lot of data, distributed computing, you know, it is hard to recover from that kind of situation. And moreover, there will be customer associated with that. If something goes wrong, customers affected, you very likely are will be losing money, and significant money. If a company is very large, like let's say Amazon, Google, you know, and you know, it's not providing good service, its reputation, you might lose not only millions, it could go in terms of billions as well. That's a lot of money, right? So if it's a core system, let's say like a Gmail or Shorts or Amazon's main the site where they sell stuff, you know, it could easily cause loss in terms of billions of dollars. So that's why it's very important to pay attention when we are learning the fundamentals. All right, now let's go and create a file. Okay, we're not compiling yet, but I want to first create a file. And the name that I gave was input file text. So I'm going to create that. Okay, for VI, I could just say touch. You see touch, but that's okay because we are used to it this one. So we'll do this input file dot text. Okay, input file text. All right, so now we're going to create something. This is a sample text, right? And full stop. All right, we save and close, we exit. Now we're going to go back to our program. Well, before going there, let's get this path actually. All right, get this path. Go back to the program, file.scala, and we're going to, well, probably that's right. Right, now let's do that. Okay, I'm going to supply it to interpreter. Read file. Already. Let's see how many errors we get. Oh, we didn't get any error. Well, that's very interesting. This is a sample text. That's all we were supposed to do. So this actually completes our session on reading from a file. So in the next session, we are going to learn how to write into the file. That's also very important. A lot of time we read from a storage, and also we need to write to some other storage, right? Or it could be the same storage, but maybe different file, different kind of VMs, different setting, this kind of things. But trust me, there will be a lot of requirement on this. Reading from certain sources and then writing to certain destinations. Okay, many programs that handle massive data, they operate in this way because we cannot fit everything in the memory. All right, so I will see you in the next session.